2 weeks ago, we went through probably the funniest webtoon on the internet, which was unironically drawn with art that could start an unending crisis within the online art community, causing people to clash heads over the difference between satire and badly drawn art, and had people inadvertently pointing out the importance of criticism for artists in the place of mindless commentary reading through this hilarious piece of media and enjoying it for what it is. And in that video, we found out that the entire webtoon was apparently made as a harmless prank by the artists, aimed at the publishers because apparently the artist wasn't being paid enough for the amount of work and hours they were putting into drawing this webtoon. And I believe the joke clearly landed because we were blessed with frames that look like this, and I can't even lie, I'm beginning to think this webtoon has grown on me and I'm actually starting to enjoy it. So in my last video, we ended at chapter 5 with our heroes hanging out back at their base after they picked up a survivor from the zombie horde attack at the gas station. We don't talk about what he looks like. He's very long. Chapter 6. The next chapter starts off with Timu Edward Cullen eating whatever this is, and then he's offered more by one of the soldiers, but he says he doesn't want any because he hasn't even finished the one he has. And can we talk about how the soldier offers him more by telling him he's beautiful and he could get it whenever? Let's hypothetically assume he didn't meet the conventional beauty standards. Does that mean the soldier wouldn't offer him more food? So he stands in front of both soldiers and starts swinging his leg back and forth like he's up to something, but both soldiers look at each other and laugh about it because they already know what's about to happen next. Bad haircut soldier then asks him to come closer so he can whisper something important in his ear, and then he says to him, "Give me a kiss and I'll give you what you want." And then the chapter ends. Yeah, that just happened. I'll give you what you want? What does he think he wants? And why does bro look like that one SpongeBob meme where he's biting his lips? This scene literally escalated so fast, my god. 1 minute ago he was just asking for something to eat after surviving an entire horde of zombies, and I have come to accept that my eyesight is kinda shabby and the needle between me and congenital blindness keeps moving closer and closer to the latter. But like, didn't he say he didn't care at all? I kinda want to see where this story is going. I mean, I already have my assumptions, and I'm sure we all do for everyone that has followed me in reading this story so far, but I'm eager to see what happens next. Also, we weren't blessed with any eye-watering art in this chapter, so I guess that's a blessing, but let's see what happens next. Chapter 7. Timu Edward Cullen gets all nervous looking left and right, and apparently all the soldiers are suddenly staring directly at him, so he tells himself he will not be coerced into debasing himself because all the soldiers there are pretending to be playful and are all acting innocent, but they'll all instantly discard him if he gave into the request and gave them what they want, which is like kinda smart of bro to just stand his ground and not let any of these bad boys just push him around and tell him what to do. In fact, I'm rooting for you, little bro. Don't let them tell you what to do. You're nobody's boy toy. You're strong and you have a mind of your own, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So Sugar Boy tells the soldier he can't because there are too many people around and he suddenly doesn't want them to start assuming things of him. But then Soldier Boy immediately starts blushing for no reason and gets all shy, so he gives him all of his food, and then all the other soldiers all start offering him their food as well. This guy even calls him baby. What is going on here? He literally just told the other guy no right in front of all of you. Why are you forcing him to eat? So they all start shoving their food in his face saying pick me, no me, no me, making it so hard for him to choose. Like, bro is literally in shock. Oh, it's so much. But then before we see who he chooses, the chapter ends. Wow. This artist and writer sure do know how to end a story on a cliffhanger now, don't they? So far so good, we're gradually easing into the story. I mean, it's probably just as I suspected in my last video. The art has been pretty decent, and I'm assuming the first couple of episodes were the only ones that the artist was trolling in, since they happened to just look like this for some reason. But I feel like in these new chapters, the webtoon has started taking itself much more seriously. It's as if the artist pulled his chair a little closer and just decided to lock in. Our sweet sugar boy is now stuck with the hard decision of choosing whose breadstick is perfect for him, and I'm sure he'll just turn all of them down and just go back to the soldier who saved him in the first place. Oh my god, bro, just eat the damn cookie. Why is he collecting them? I have no idea as well, my fellow internet commenter. We got Oliver Twist over here. Bro was already eating one and apparently said he was okay at first, but now he wants more all of a sudden? Bruh. Why are his fingertips that color? I believe the purple on his fingertips and on his toes and face are the artist's stylistic way of showing blood and subsurface scattering on the character. A lot of other artists do this as well with their art, and I think it looks pretty cool. I also happen to draw like that as well, and you can see it in my art, which by the way, you should go follow my art account on Instagram, which should probably be popping up on the screen right about now. I post some of my drawings on there, and if you want to see more of my art and you want me to continue posting, drop me a follow and say nice things to me in the comments, please. Chapter 8. Chapter 8 starts off pretty intense. So Soldier Boy immediately starts calling our baby boo his darling and begs him to be a little alluring for him too, since he's apparently been giving everyone else his attention. So baby boo Sugar Boy says, "Captain, I'm truly starving now and I want you to feed me your long thick piece of chocolate." Okay, I'm just kidding, he didn't say any of that. But look at his face. Like, I need this, bro, please. Bro is literally begging to be fed. So Soldier Boy pulls out the rest of his bread or chocolate or whatever it is they're eating and offers it to him while biting his lip. Like, bro, what are you doing? You don't have to do any of that. Anyway, so he asks Sugar Boy to look at him and come closer because he has a larger piece for him, and then all of a sudden we're blessed with bro bro, I'm telling you, man. Bro just took us straight to the action. No warning, nothing. Wasn't he just talking about food a while ago? How did we get to this? Why is he even in a dress? And why does he have bunny ears? Hello? Also notice how both soldiers are like super hot with abs, and apparently everyone just wants Sugar Boy now for some reason. But can we talk about the dress bro is wearing? This guy literally has the sluttiest dress on and is just showing the soldiers his bare back. Wait, are those their dog tags? Why does he have their dog tags? This is getting ridiculous. Remember when I said the artist was pulling a fast one on us and the art will probably just get better as the webtoon progresses? I think that's exactly what has been happening here. 2 chapters in and I can't even find one bad panel so far. It seems like the artist just decided to stop messing around with the producers or something and just decided to start drawing properly so he can draw Sugar Boy in a slutty dress. Or maybe they just somehow increased the budget for the webtoon when it got to the parts where the story started getting more spicy. But I don't know, I'm probably just reaching with this one. I think I'm also starting to see why this webtoon was considered pretty controversial on the internet. That is aside from the first few chapters with the satirical art. Speaking about webtoons with satirical art, if you enjoy videos like this talking about controversial art, webtoons and disturbing situations in the art community on the internet, you should subscribe. I post weekly and talk about art, things happening in the art community and other things of that nature. If that's something you find interesting, just hit that little subscribe button and join the family. Chapter 9. Well, perhaps I made a mistake. Perhaps I called it a little too soon. The proportions are not as ridiculous as the drawings in the first few chapters, because boy were those horrendous. These proportions are at the very least acceptable for what we're working with. Anyway, so our tall strong hunk of a soldier is carrying Sugar Boy on his shoulders and they're heading out to spend some precious well needed time together. But the only thing hunk soldier can think of is how smooth Sugar Boy's legs are and that he smells so good and amazing and seductive as well. So he gets intoxicated by Sugar Boy's ood for greatness, so he just sets him down so he doesn't pass out from all the seduction he's experiencing. Then Sugar Boy asks him what's wrong, and he starts wondering if Hunk Soldier was going to abandon him. But then Hunk Soldier starts blushing and asks Sugar Boy to wait for him for a bit. So Sugar Boy sits down lonely and helpless and is wondering to himself if his entire plan to seduce Hunk Soldier was a failure, and like can you choose a man already? You have all these boys struggling for you and fighting among themselves for who gets the honor of feeding you their chocolate. Bloody choose already and stop causing all this drama. Anyway, Hunk Soldier comes back from his little stroll, but then Sugar Boy noticed he was holding something in his hand, so he asks him what he came back with, and Hunk Soldier tells him that he found his pants and that he should put them on quickly. But when Sugar Boy goes to put them on, he notices that the pants are warm. So he asks Hunk Soldier why the pants are warm, but Hunk Soldier shrugs him off and tells him to put them on and stop whining. But Sugar Boy does the opposite and starts whining again, so Hunk Soldier gets fed up and asks him to lie still so he'll put on the pants for him. And the chapter ends. I have a lot of questions. This chapter feels out of place, like it should have happened earlier. I mean, Sugar Boy had pants the last time we saw him, so why is he part naked now all of a sudden? Did he forget to wear his pants before going out? And if so, why are the pants randomly lying on the street? Why are the pants warm? Why is any of this even happening? I have so many whys and each of them need answering before my last two brain cells give way. Were the last 3 chapters just flashbacks or scenes going on in Sugar Boy's head? Or is this a form of Christopher Nolan storytelling where we go back and forth between characters at different points in time in the story before we can understand the entire plot cohesively? I'm so confused, but I guess the only way to find answers is by scrolling through good old TikTok.
别杀我，我是人。那个，你吃火龙果吗？
男人也能这么美丽吗？我吃。
啊，脚好痛啊！
我看看受伤了吗？
Apparently no one knows as well. Now I have to resort to going back and finishing the entire webtoon, which I'm sure is what every one of you watching this video wants to happen deep down. Seems you all enjoy watching me lose my sanity as I flip every metaphorical page over every time I'm reading a controversial webtoon. But I'm glad I'm not the only one who's confused by what's happening in this webtoon, as other people in the comments are all asking the right questions that need answering without subjecting themselves to the mental torture that is reading this webtoon. But then again, I just have to. So let's casually march ourselves into the next chapter, shall we? Chapter 10. So Hunk Soldier is carrying Sugar Boy on his shoulder and they've been walking for miles, and all of a sudden we're now back to the wonky long-lived proportions. Wow. Looks like I called it a little too early. For some reason it feels like the artist just got tired of trying to make the webtoon look good. Then they decided to start trolling us again. So Sugar Boy starts talking to himself, saying he's barely known this guy and he's already doing this much for him, which is not suspicious at all. I'm sure a stranger you met just a few minutes ago who seems to have taken a liking to you and is doing literally everything in their power to make you seem happy and comfortable doesn't read any red flags at all. And according to him, he must have captured his heart, which is why he probably fell head over heels for him. I mean, look at his face. Who wouldn't fall for that pretty little face? So they keep walking for a bit and then they reach where the rest of the soldiers are. So he puts him down and talks to his men for a bit. His men then tell him they've cleared the entire area, but then they notice this guy just standing behind him farming aura. Like, what is this? And why are their waists so snatched, bro? Apparently Hunk Soldier is their captain, so we finally learned about him. And I guess he looks okay. I mean, we can tell he has hot abs and whatnot. It's not like the artist has already shown us what he looks like without clothes on. But this guy, we need some answers. Why does he look like this? Where is his waist? Why is he absolutely snatched and has childbearing hips? Why? Even the rest of the soldiers are shocked looking at this specimen of a person. This chapter was pretty short. Nothing really exciting happened, and it felt more like the artist was trolling and wasn't taking it as serious as the previous chapter we have read so far. I also feel like this chapter was supposed to have come before the previous chapters, because that would make much more sense for the story to be linear. So either this website uploaded the stories wrongly, or this is just how the artist and writer wrote this. People in the comments were also just trashing this chapter because the art has started going back to their roots instead of improving like the last 2 or 3 chapters we just read. Artist has peak same face syndrome. They all look the same. This doesn't genuinely look that bad. I think the faces are okay. Yes, they may slightly look similar, but like for a webtoon, I think it's pretty much decent. All I see are these hourglass but normal looking men beside the ML. Is that Korea Boo pale horror story character? We seriously need to talk about his waist, man. Bro needs to drop a routine or something. Where's the waist? What waist? Okay, I'm done. I'm dropping this. You have to power through it, just like me. How else will you get to the good part if you don't power through? I only keep on reading to see if there's say Gex. The BMW M3 is a high-performance luxury sedan. Chapter 11. The next chapter starts off with the soldiers examining Sugar Boy, saying he looks extremely handsome and is cuter than the average male specimen. This guy literally looks him straight in his face as if he's trying to peek into his soul, and Sugar Boy just stands there looking like a doll with his perfect eyeshadow and pretty pink lips. Bro kinda looks cute, I can't lie. I think I'm beginning to see what the soldier is seeing as well. So another soldier calls for the captain to tell him they cleared the east side of the building, and then we're blessed with this gorgeous frame that will probably give Mr. Fantastic a run for his money. Like, how is he even bending like that? Bro might need to book an appointment with a TikTok chiropractor to snap his neck back into place. Anyway, before he can finish talking to the captain, he's immediately captivated by Sugar Boy's beauty, so he stops in his tracks to gaze at this 11th wonder of the world, and he just says, "Wow." Because he has never seen anything like this before. Could this be real? How can one person have all this beauty? Is he human? If I try to touch him, will his skin break like ice and fall apart? Questions. So Sugar Boy stares right back at him, tugging at his shirt, and he starts to think to himself, wondering if this new soldier is his ideal type. Because he's supposedly honest and steadfast, serious, passionate, and he's also cute and emotionally intelligent. So that automatically makes him the perfect person he could potentially start a romantic relationship with. The only problem is he's already tripping for the captain who saved him and brought him to the rest of the team. They're even holding hands as we speak and have already started building a bond. So this is going to pose a problem moving forward. The captain is also handsome and has a pair of resolute blue eyes like a dependable old father. What am I even reading, man? And he also likes him because for the first few minutes they've spent together, the captain has shown him so much love, care, and affection. So betraying his trust because he just met a new person isn't going to seem fair at all. So Sugar Boy ends up getting confused because now he has to change his target and can't decide who he's going to pick. The strong, tall captain or the passionate, steadfast soldier he just met a few seconds ago. Decisions. And that's how the chapter ends, and to be frank, I'm already invested in the story and I can't wait to see who he ends up picking in the next chapter. I think it's safe to say the only description I have for this chapter is what this person said in the comments. I'm going to wear purple eyeshadow and pink lipstick to give myself a soldier vibe. That is exactly how I feel after this chapter ended. Why is bro this cute? Why does he have a full face beat in a zombie apocalypse? Did the writer and artist just forget these people were fending off an entire city overrun with zombies a while ago? Chapter 12. So Sugar Boy is standing looking at all the hot giraffe leg soldiers as they stand in front of him waiting for him to pick one of them. But the captain looks at him firmly and tries to get him to refuse and stick with him because he apparently has fallen for his smooth legs and soft skin, and he can't wait to spend some time with him after all of this is over. But Sugar Boy suddenly lets go of his hand and decides he's going to have to make his decisions for himself. So the captain looks at him with confusion in his eyes, wondering if Sugar Boy stopped holding his hand because he became shy due to all the soldiers standing in front of them. So the captain instantly locks in and starts asking the soldiers if they found any other survivors, and they all get awkward and remember they had a mission, so they tell him no one else was found. Then the captain turns around angrily and tells Sugar Boy that their mission is to clear the area and kill all the zombies and not search for survivors. Like bro, wasn't searching for survivors one of the objectives you were given before you set out on this mission in the first place? Why did you even bother asking him if there were any more survivors if you didn't really care about them and were not going to help them? Isn't that just backward thinking? So the captain then tells Sugar Boy that the rescue team won't come because he's the only survivor, and it's basically pointless for the entire team to come out for just one person when there are other people also waiting to be rescued. What? Can't they just rescue one person and then go to the next and rescue that person as well? This doesn't even make any sense. So he then tells Sugar Boy there's nothing they can do for him and the only thing he has to do is to come with him if he wants to live. And the chapter ends. Hard. Bruh. This chapter just left me with so many questions, man. Right now, I don't even understand the order of the story anymore. Are we going forward or are we going backward? And if the soldiers were just sent out to clear the area and destroy all the zombies, why didn't they just drop a bomb and nuke the entire place? Wouldn't that just save them the stress of having to come down and fight the zombies and potentially lose more men? Maybe I'm just thinking a little too hard and it's not even all that serious. But to be honest, I'm kind of enjoying myself with this webtoon. What do you guys think? Do you like this webtoon? Do you think the art style is great? Or do you think the art style is as ugly as the internet has made it out to be? Let me know in the comments if you want me to continue reading this webtoon, because I genuinely think I'm having fun with this and it's a nice break from all the internet drama, TikTok chaos, and Twitter controversies. Well, it looks like you made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share the video with a friend who hasn't heard of this webtoon, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.